Hello viewers, yes, this is Ranjana ma'am and you are watching, yes, mine as well as your channel. And the thumbnail says it all. I know this is for my model English students who are following the modern English syllabus in class 11. So it's a poem, Father Returning Home by Dilip Chitre. So Father Returning Home is actually said to be autobiographical because when the child grows up, the feelings for his father when he would return home, as if they flash past his mind, and maybe he remembers that even he had been alienated from his father at that time. But when he writes the poem, he feels a connection. He understands maybe that he had been wrong towards his father, or the generation gap was responsible for it. So Dilip Chitre, so his poem Father Returning Home seems to be quite heartbreaking. It's a sad poem, and we find alienation in the father-son relation. Not only the father-son relationship, since the father is returning home, that is why we can say father-son, but you will find alienation all around. When he commutes in these local trains, suburban trains, to reach his home, he is surrounded by a group of other commuters, but none of them are talking or communicating to each other. At home also, he rushes towards his home. He is very eager to return to his home after a hard day's work, but he doesn't get any warm welcome from his family members. Nothing is told about his wife. We don't know whether she exists or she is dead. But the food, they are so stale, insipid, and none of his children, they are not ready to share their jokes with him. So the father-son relationship is also not good. Most probably he has not been very informal with his children because he is busy bearing the burden of the family. And as such, the children also, they feel a bit, they are not frank with their father. And after that, after having his dinner, he goes and washes his hands, and then in his dreams, he thinks of the previous generation, of his forefathers and his grandchildren. Why? Because most probably he is disappointed with the present situation. So he thinks of his forefathers. They were happy that there was a good family life. And maybe of his grandchildren. Why? Because he hopes that better times might come. This time might not remain the same. So better times might come. So let's start with Father Returning Home. But before I start, you know what I am going to remind you of. If you have not subscribed to my channel up till now, please do. And the likes are so few, I have to admit. You all write such nice comments, but the likes, you all forget to press the like button. Please do. It inspires me to carry on the work for you. And yes, many of you have written about Pygmalion, so I am waiting for my Pygmalion book to come. Once it comes within 2 days, or most probably it is going to come within 2 days, and then I'll start Pygmalion. So don't worry, I'll be starting Pygmalion soon. Some of you have written that we have already started it in school. So don't worry, I'm there. Okay? But remember. So let's start the poem. My father travels on the late evening train, standing among silent commuters in the yellow light. Suburbs slide past his unseeing eyes. His shirt and pants are soggy, and his black raincoat stained with mud, and his bag stuffed with books is falling apart. His eyes, dimmed by age, fade homeward through the humid monsoon night. So the narrator or the speaker, as if he can visualize his father returning home. It is a late evening train, and it is crowded with other people also who are equally eager to reach their home after a full day's work in the city. And maybe they are too drained out, too exhausted to engage in any conversation. So all of them are silent, standing among silent commuters, and even he is one silent commuter. In the yellow light, suburbs slide past his unseeing eyes. Why? One reason could be unseeing, because he is accustomed, he knows what will come and which station will come, and after that which station, and he knows when he will reach his destination. So when we don't know, now we are going to a new place, so we peep through the windows and see which station the train has stopped. But maybe because he is a daily passenger, so he knows when it will come, so he doesn't need to see. So suburbs slide past his unseeing eyes and just see his dress. His shirt and pants are soggy, so they are wet. Most probably it can be on account of sweat. They are in a stuffy compartment, and it could humidity, or it could be because of the rains. And his black raincoat, so the raincoat suggests that it had rained, and now that he has got into the train, most probably he must have removed it. So, and his black raincoat stained with mud and his bag stuffed with books is falling apart. So the bag stuffed with books is falling apart. It can be on account of two reasons. One is that he cannot afford to buy a new book because of the new bag, because of the pressures of the family, means the money which he needs to run his family may not be able to provide him with a new bag. He cannot afford it. It could be one reason. Or though the bag is in a very bad condition, he has no time to go and get it repaired or mend. So it can be because of that, or it can be that he cannot afford, and that is why the bag is in such a deplorable condition. His eyes, dimmed by age, fade homeward through the humid monsoon night. Yeah, this is a monsoon night. And see his eyes. That means he seems to be quite old. So his eyes, they can't see properly, dimmed by age. So his vision is not very perfect on account of age. Fade homeward. So eyes are looking towards home. His expectancy, when the station will come, he will get down. He is eager to reach his home through the human monsoon night. So the speaker, it can be the poet himself, who visualizes that now the train will come and stop and my father will get down from the train. See the next line. Now I can see him getting off the train, like a word dropped from a long sentence. So just try to imagine one word dropped from a long sentence. So let's think of the sentence to be the train, and one man getting down from the train, it hardly makes a difference because the train is so badly stuffed with people. So if one man gets down from the train, it hardly matters. So one word dropped from a long sentence. What a nice comparison. So it is a simile, like a word dropped from a long sentence. So the father's getting down from the train is being compared to a word dropped from a long sentence. So sentence is so long, so if you drop one word from it, unless it's a very vital word, it makes no difference. And then what does he do after he gets down from the train? He hurries across the length of the grey platform. Grey is suggestive of depression, disappointment, old age, isolation. So throughout the poem you will find hints of depression and old age and also isolation. So the platform is also grey. So he gets down and he walks the length of the platform, crossing the railway line. So he crosses the railway line enters the lane. So his house must be close to the railway station. The station on which he gets down, his house must be close to it. So he crosses the railway line and then the lane to his home, that is his home lane. So he takes that lane. His chappals, the footwear, not shoes, chappals. His chappals are sticky with mud, but he hurries homeward. Sticky with what? Mud. Why? Because we have been told it's a monsoon night. So there has been rains, and because of the rain the place has become muddy, sticky. So they stick to his chappals, but he doesn't bother. It doesn't affect him. His main intention is to reach his home fast. So it would seem as if he is going to get a very splendid reception at home, but nothing like that. But he hurries onward. Home again, I see him drinking weak tea. So the poet as if visualizes the father having reached home. And then no one is bothered that father has come home, oh father has come home, like children do. No, nothing like that. He doesn't get that type of reception. So whatever he takes, most probably he must be self-serving himself, because nothing is told about the mother or anyone serving him. So I see him drinking weak tea, eating a stale chapati, reading a book. So weak tea, most probably it is not that strong tea, it's a weak one. Maybe what we say in a liquor tea without milk and all that. So a weak tea, and eating a stale chapati, not a freshly prepared one. Most probably it must have been prepared in the morning. So he takes and he eats it, and while eating he reads a book. So he is not affected by these discomforts. The food not being fresh, no one there to serve him, the tea is weak, but he is not bothered. Actually, I think it is just a struggle for survival. So he is not interested in the luxuries of life. Whatever he gets, yes, he knows that I can't afford anything more. So he is busy. While eating also, he concentrates on some book. He goes into the toilet to contemplate man's estrangement from a man-made world. And then he goes to the washroom. We don't use toilet nowadays, rather we say washroom. So he goes to the washroom, and there maybe while he sits there in the washroom and he thinks deeply, he reflects on man's estrangement from a man-made world. We made this world, and with all the progress of science and everything, so we have become alienated from each other. This is what Wordsworth more than 100 years ago had said the same, rather 200. So he was a poet of the Romantic age. So he, in one of his poems, lines written in early spring also, had spoken about the alienation and estrangement of man. So man is not happy. Why? Because he has alienated himself from nature, and here alienation of one man from another. So man's estrangement from a man-made world. This world has been created by man, the world in which we are living. Don't think of this, I mean the lifestyle and everything, our world, and man's alienation from this world. And yet we are alienated, we all are islands. So every man is an island in today's world. So I remember one picture of my cousin's family. So there the two daughters busy with their mobile, the mother in one corner, mobile, father. So all four of them are there. But instead of communicating, they are busy concentrating on the mobile. Mobile has become the worst menace, the biggest menace, responsible for isolation. So there is hardly any family life also nowadays. So even I'm also guilty of it, because I have to go on browsing for the videos which I upload. So I have to do it. My granddaughter is engaged in cartoons. She wants to also have a peek at it. Why? Because she sees all of us, and when it's her turn, we tell no, you cannot. It will harm your eyes. But she sees the elders doing all this. So we are setting a very bad example. We are telling her not to do, and yet we are doing the same thing. So naturally, what will happen? It is giving rise to isolation. There are so many members in the family, but the connection is missing. Same here. His children are there. It's not that he is the only man in the house. He has his children. I again tell, nothing is told about his wife, so we don't know whether he has a wife or she is dead. But the children are there. But no interaction between the father and the child. Maybe he has made himself quite distant. He is always busy with his work. He goes right in the morning, maybe they are asleep then, and in this way for years, so that intimacy is missing. Maybe it is he is also to be held responsible for this. So now that the children have grown up, they are not free and frank with their father. So now he thinks of the alienation. Man is an alien in his own world. Coming out, he trembles at the sink. So this shows that he is not very strong, and yet he has to do such a hard job, commuting every day, going to the city in the morning and coming back in the late night train, then from there coming back home. So it can be a sign of his weakness, but he has to carry on his job to bear the burden of the family. The cold water running over his brown hands, a few droplets cling to the graying hairs on his wrist. Graying hair is again symbolic of age. His sullen children have often refused to share jokes and secrets with him. So the children are not happy. They are in a bad mood. Most probably because he has failed to meet their demands. Father, I want a bike. Father, I want a new mobile. And we can understand that how hard he must be striving to get the meals for the family. Get the food for the family is a daily task, is quite a difficult task for him, and maybe they don't get what they want, and that is why they are sullen, they are not happy. So they don't share their jokes, that means they don't share their jokes and secrets with him. Why? Because he seems to be the father figure. He must have shown himself to be the strict father figure in their childhood, and now they have grown up, so they keep a distance from him. No sharing of jokes and secrets, because he is not so intimate with the children. He will now go to sleep. So the son, now that time he must have been a child, and later when he grows up and he becomes maybe a father, he understands the situation of his father, and then he thinks of the time when his father would come home from office in a late night train, and the way they aloof themselves from him. Most probably he has also become a father, and he realizes that no, he was also to be blamed. He will now go to sleep, listening to the static on the radio. So the same thing being repeated again and again. So he will be hearing it, and while hearing it, he will fall asleep. And what will he see in his dreams? Dreaming of his ancestors and grandchildren. Why ancestors and grandchildren? Because the present generation, his children, are not ready to share their secrets with him, their jokes with him. So there is a generation gap. So he thinks of his forefathers, ancestors. So in those days, the family life really existed. They were people had a well-knit family. Nowadays, so this nuclear family. And not only that, he thinks of his grandchildren. Why? Because he thinks that times may change, situation may change, grandchildren may be close to me, and yeah, it is a fact. I have seen that when father and son, their relationship is not really good, but the grandchildren and the grandparents, they share a very nice relationship. Many times we have seen that the father doesn't and the son, they don't go on fine, they don't go on well, they are not intimate with each other. But the grandchild, so you must have seen in many movies also, that the son is sullen. Why? Because the father has not given him money. But the grandchildren, or maybe the father is not happy because he doesn't get the things he needs, but the grandchildren, they come forward to help. So there is a very nice bond between grandparents and grandchildren. So maybe he also hopes that things will improve and I will also enjoy intimacy with my grandchildren, which I miss in my own children, the intimacy which I miss. So I think both sides are to be blamed, not only the father, but not only the sons because they are sullen, but also the father. When they were small, he might have not tried to be close to them. Most probably, I don't blame him also because of the difficult life he has to undergo in order to bear the burden of the family. It is a very laborious life, I think, right from the morning and returning at night. So how much time will he have for his children? But you can't help. He has to do in order to feed his family. But then the children don't understand this. Maybe they have their own friends who have some luxuries and they want the same from their father, which he is unable to provide, and that could be the reason why they are not happy with him. Oh, he hardly takes care of us, he hardly listens to us, so we are also not going to communicate with him. Complete isolation. So this is the picture of the modern world. So this is about the poem, and yes, a little critically if we think on it. So if we analyze the poem line wise, so we will find that these the similar passengers who are in the train, they are all silent. Why? Because this silence is symbolic of isolation. So many people in the train, but no one is talking to the other. So it is not only isolation, maybe they are too exhausted. They have been drained out of their energy, drained out of life. So no one is in a mood to communicate with the other. So it portrays the isolation of the modern world. Every man, I just now said, every man is an island. And then not only the train, but the father's world at home also is very similar. There is not much difference. In the train also there is no one who comes and talks. At home also there is no one. So his home life is also equally dismal, very insipid. And this late train, he returns home in the late evening train. So this can be suggestive of the burden, strenuous job which he has to undertake in spite of his old age. So in spite of his old age, he has to take the late night train to return home. So that means he must be working where it can be the overtime, because this is not the office hour to return. Late night can be that after finishing his office job, maybe he does overtime to provide for his family. So that is why he has no other option but to take the late night train. So he must be working overtime to get some more bucks for the family. And not only that, another thing, let's analyze the term unseeing eyes. So unseeing eyes can also be on account of exhaustion or on account of, why? Because he is in no mood to watch these places. These places he has been coming through or passing these places every day, with the exception of the Sunday. He has been passing through this place for each and every day of his life, right? Maybe from the time he joined the job where he is at this moment. So that is why he doesn't need to peep and see which station has come. He knows when his destination comes. So we can feel a sort of indifference in him towards the stations which the train passes through. And again, as I told you of the bag, so it's so filled with books and it is falling apart. So I said that either he cannot afford to buy a book, buy a bag, or it can be that he hardly has the time to repair it. So what a sad life this man is living. He is just a machine and nothing more. It seems that he is nothing more than a money providing machine for the family. It's very tragic. So life most probably he will have to go on working till he dies. So life has no charm for him. It would have had charm if the family life was good. Then he could have gone out on holidays with his family, but nothing like that, because his returning home is met with indifference. So it can be that he is trapped in a toxic atmosphere. Yeah, don't you think the atmosphere is toxic? So he is caught in this toxic atmosphere, whether it is in the city or at home or in the train. And then, yes, the way the father gets down from the train, I told you earlier also, and I am repeating it, is a very nice simile. So when he gets down from the train, so like a word dropped from a long sentence. What a nice simile. So no one in the train bothers about his getting down. So they are disinterested. So this again is symbolic of alienation. And as I said, he wants to reach home fast. So though his chappals get stuck in the mud, it doesn't bother him. His only intention is to reach home fast. But when he reaches home, there is no fussing. As I said, oh, father has come home, father has come home, no fussing. We don't know whether he has a wife, but the children are there, as I said earlier, but the behavior of the children not good. Whatever they are at this moment, it is because of the father. But then maybe they are sullen. Why? Because he cannot meet their demands because it is a hand-to-mouth existence. Providing for the 4 meals a day and maybe giving them the education they need, that is at the most he can give them. So there is no time for luxuries or entertainments. And that is what must have offended the children, and they are sullen. They feel, and they also maintain a distance from the father, because from their childhood they have seen that the father only comes at night and early morning he goes. There is no interaction, and naturally there is no intimacy between them. So he seems to be cut off from his family, he seems to be cut off from his children. So home doesn't mean only the 4 walls. Home means family, home means family members, home means a family life. But that is missing. Members are there, but the family life is missing. So this is very tragic. And then the only solace which the father can get in such a toxic atmosphere is in his dreams. In his dreams, when he sees his ancestors, he dreams of his ancestors. in his dreams when he thinks of the grandchildren. So his ancestors, the way they had come from another country to India, so he dreams of that. So their early arrival, the early arrival of his ancestors to India, so he dreams of that. So most probably because that time they were people were more attached to their families, and thinking of grandchildren, I just now said that grandchildren and grandparents, they have a special bond. So that is why grandchildren are the future, ancestors are the past, the present is the one which is the muddled up one. But he hopes that better times will come, and the relationship with his family will be mended through the grandchildren. It will be better, better times will come. So in his dream or in his sleep, he dreams of better times. So yes, this is where the poem ends, and I think I have given you a very detailed description of the poem. And if you want to ask me anything, you can write it in your comments. And yes, Pygmalion is coming soon. So bye.